Hi, I'm Karen from the Storey Group. Many of you know that we recently ran the first of our Level Up series for 2018 around the topic of hospitality talent. Now, I know that many of you are really super busy and you couldn't make the session, so we've created a special video summary of the topics and the issues that we discussed just for you. So here's 3 reasons why you'll want to watch this 20-minute video. First, we look at the state of hospitality sector here in the GCC with a real emphasis on the current pressure points. Second, we're going to spend some time looking at what that means for talent, how the current market conditions affect motivation, performance and remuneration, specifically the role of employee engagement. And third, we're going to look at the practical tool to help you to really dial up engagement that's already been proven to work in hotels like the Sheraton, Shangri-La and more. Here at the Storey Group, we're all about helping organisations in the MENA region level up their performance and get better business results. And over the last 20 years, we've helped our clients like these get better through talent, technologies, transactions and turnarounds. So let's set the scene for hospitality talent in the region. As most of you know, the hospitality sector has seen enormous growth here in the MENA. And this graphic illustrates the pipeline of rooms in construction versus existing rooms according to STR. As these key markets evolve, or in the case of Saudi Arabia, really open up to global tourism over the next 5 years, the characteristics of successful hospitality investments are really going to be in the headlights. This region continues to invest heavily in new hotel assets and supply continues to forge ahead as the tourist and MICE markets surge and the region prepares itself for Dubai Expo 2020 and the World Cup. Looking at it slightly differently, the total value of 1,153 active hospitality development projects in the 6 members of the GCC currently exceeds 148 billion, according to BNC Network. And Dubai alone plans to double the number of hotel and serviced apartment rooms, leading to revenues for the sector of some $10 billion. Now that's a very healthy and big pipeline, and the numbers are exactly where we'd expect from this region. However, it's not all growth. For example, as Dubai's supply grew in 2017, average prices of hotel rooms across Dubai fell by nearly 10%. This market continues to be dynamic. You only have to look at the positioning of Rove Hotels here in Dubai. Originally a mid-market, $100 a night concept has moved higher than that thanks to the market. And the numbers of tourists from key regions has fluctuated too. And let's not forget, global and regional geopolitics are still playing out. Any one of these factors has the ability to shock the tourism and hospitality market, as we saw with Russian visitor numbers as the oil price dropped. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, as the details on visitor numbers show. Again, these numbers are for Dubai, but China was already showing growth in visitor numbers, with 3 times the visits expected between 2013 and 2023. And from what I understand, the numbers have increased even faster than this projection, given the impact of visas on arrival. And as visitor patterns and the number of nights in country and the economy all change, guest expectations are going to be changing too. While the GCC hospitality industry is dominated by luxury upmarket hotels, the global traveller trends are changing really fast. Being ready to meet the product and service expectations of first-time travellers, multiple generations, more complex segments of leisure, MICE and business travellers is a key concern for many of the owners and operators that we talk to. And if it's done well, all of this looks like a really serious opportunity. Shifts in the markets include an emphasis on brand. And brand is about the promise and experience that your people deliver, and how you tap into themes around guests wanting both more personal experience and more technology-friendly approaches. The discussion at our recent sessions centered on what is happening with product and service configurations, the role of technology and innovation, and the key role that staff have in meeting and exceeding the guest expectations. We're always happy to spend more time with management and leadership teams exploring exactly what these sector shifts mean. So if you'd like to have a broader discussion on that, please don't hesitate to drop us a line and we'd be happy to come and see you. Turning to a key topic for many organisations worldwide, and not just in the hospitality sector, I'd like to spend a little bit of time looking at what we know about how to get the most from your people. Just look at this guy. He looks pretty content. We use this image to start a conversation with client teams that we work with, and we encourage them to close their eyes. So if you'd like to just play along with me and close your eyes for a couple of seconds. I'd like you to think about the best day that you've ever had at work. I'd like you to think about what was going on with your management and leadership. What was happening with your team? Where was that motivation coming from? And how did you know that you were doing really well in what we like to call a flow? So this is part of why many organizations are currently stuck in a very traditional KPI-based engagement management approach that seems to continually address measurements and not the causes. What we found, and this graphic, which has been provided by our technology partner We Thrive, looks at what we can do to improve how people feel about work. So here's the thing. When we tap into the intrinsic drivers of motivation and create a working environment, management systems and culture that centers around people and on improving the working day of every single colleague in the business, this improvement absolutely delivers bottom line results. The We Thrive model outlines the 16 factors, both causes and effects, that determine how well you're doing at building an organization that thrives. We can help our clients to survey those factors for you and give instant access to really powerful technology to shift engagement. But we need to kind of put across a critical point here. First of all, why does it matter? And why should we care about it? Why should you care about how engaged your people are? And why would you want to create somebody's best day at work ever? Because in the service sector, what we do, what people say, how they show up, how they present themselves, and how they interact drives every single dimension of the guest experience. Nearly every organisation that we deal with is concerned with levelling up their performance across the business. They don't just want satisfied customers and guests. They want to create a sense of wow. They want experiences that people feel compelled to share with others. And yet globally, hospitality suffers some of the highest rates of staff turnover. There are several reasons for that, some of which you will already know, including seasonal requirements, low pay, long hours, shift work. But what we found is that the number one reason for staff turnover in the hospitality industry is a lack of appreciation or feedback. As you know, in this world of instant feedback, of likes and hearts and thumbs up, which reminds me, if you're enjoying this, please let us know here. There are now a generation of employees who value workplace culture. They value and want feedback, and they want to align with their own personal values just as much as they do to get fair pay. This is why your approach to people and talent matters so much. So as room rates drop, and as supply increases, as the competition comes to the market with newer, shinier offerings, and as the mid-market becomes more sophisticated, global shocks will continue to come. The market for leisure, tourists and MICE will shift in the region. And as more first-time visitors and travellers arrive in the region, the key to creating memorable, differentiated, shareable and wow guest experience completely lies with the people who create them. It's about your staff. It's about your talent. It's about people. So what is your strategy for them? What we want is more than just basic pay and conditions. We want a workforce that is engaged, and not in the way that they respond to an annual survey, but really engaged with their work and with your guests. Do you remember at the beginning of this presentation, I said that we would look together at practical tools to improve engagement in the organisation? Well, before we do that, we need to agree a couple of things. First of all, giving people tools and systems helps them to get stuff done in the organisation, both consistently and measurably. Second, using spreadsheets, paper-based systems that I see every single day, like guest feedback cards, can be so time-consuming and difficult, and often they don't actually stick. Third, most people like to know how they're doing on the spot, on a day-to-day basis and even hour by hour. Every now and then, also, a little bit of competition within the business and between teams can be really healthy for driving that organisation culture change. And finally, the power of saying a simple thank you to your colleagues at a peer-to-peer level can sometimes be even more valuable than winning Employee of the Month. So I'd like to introduce you to Tastahel, a comprehensive platform for employee reward and recognition. So I'd like you to just imagine all of your employee recognition programs in one fully integrated platform. Everyday peer or manager recognition, spot prizes and awards, customer feedback recognition, employee of the month or quarter, innovation or cost-saving initiatives, recruitment referrals, birthdays, years of service, awards, other incentive programs, everywhere in your organisation. That's Tastahel, and it's powered by our partners Brownie Points out of Australia. So we can use the power of your chosen behaviours, reinforce change and values, or support initiatives like wellness or happiness. And we can draw on a catalogue of physical rewards if you would like to, or non-cash awards to determine what your business strategy is. I've got to tell you too that Tastahel and Brownie Points is absolutely loved by the hospitality sector. In addition to building concierge companies, this award-winning platform is used by Sheraton, Shangri-La, W Hotels, TFE Hotels, who manage the Adina and Medina brands in Australia. The Sheraton absolutely loves the platform and the mobile app for people that are out on the floor so that they can give recognition on the spot. The Shangri-La also includes their guest recognitions and peer-to-peer benefits for younger staff when they've had a really busy shift, but still delivering great guest experiences. First Contact, a building concierge service company and one of our first customers, knows that Tastahel also works for smaller teams, giving them a sense of kind of connection to the organisation and seeing that the benefits of having an online system. So that's a lot about why customers love the features and benefits of the platform, but you're probably wondering, what does it actually look like? So on a desktop, from this login screen, which can be customized for your people, for your brand, and it will look and feel exactly the way that you want it to. And it does support most modern single sign-on infrastructure. You come to the homepage, and here's where we highlight things like anniversaries and celebrations, as well as an area for key messaging so that you can keep people up to speed with what's going on across the brand. Moving down, each team member has a snapshot of their programs, the recognitions, the goals, and the leadership board. The top awarders are also highlighted, and this means that you can see transparently what is going on, what adoption have you got for the program, and who's been recognised. The recognition wall also highlights where people have been recognised for living their company values and who has made the awards. And how do you recognise someone? So you simply identify the person from the drop-down menu taken from your HR data, the behaviour or result that you want to recognise, and briefly describe why this was special. And then depending on the permissions that you've set, you send that directly to the team member or up the approval chain that we've created. That approval chain is completely customisable, and we can change it by value, by program, by person. You bring the business rules and we can implement them for you. A full reporting suite within Tastahel has also been included in order to identify not only who is giving and receiving recognition, but what kind of engagement and ROI are you getting from your program and what are the costs. These reports give you real rich insights into who is buying into the program, which managers are really good at recognizing their team, whether there are hotspots for engagement around certain values in the organizations and which ones we need to refocus attention on, and which employees are consistently outperforming their peers. This is all about rewarding and recognizing great performance within the business. And of course, the whole experience is also mobile friendly. So if a peer or supervisor recognizes you, then you get an instant notification on your phone and you can track your performance and reward people from wherever you are in the business. So that's a really quick overview of Tastahel, and we've only just touched on the surface of what this platform can do to recognize and engage talent within the organization. So imagine what it would mean for your people to be recognized by peers and managers and guests. Think about the convenience of this happening on a mobile. So wherever you're working within the organisation, you don't have to rely on getting back to a desktop or a formal gathering of staff. You'll know and you can spot when good things are happening, and we can do that instantaneously. So think about also from an HR perspective and from a business perspective is having those reports and the return on investment at your fingertips. Think about what it means that hotels like the Sheraton, Shangri-La, not only use this platform powered by Brownie Points, but they also recommend it to others. Now, if this is the sort of engagement, the sort of recognition, and the sort of tool that you would find interesting for your team, we'd love to come and see you. We'd love to show you a much longer demonstration of what it can do and have a look at where it might be able to add value to what you're doing in the space. Thank you very much indeed for listening to this presentation. I hope that you have found it interesting and it gives you some food for thought. We're all about helping our clients to level up performance. So if you'd like to grab a coffee and have a chat, please let me know, email me or call me today and we can catch up. Thank you.